Good evening and welcome to tonight's broadcast of the Vintage Racer Group's Virtual Racing League. Tonight is race 2 of our Series 8. We're at Montreal in the Lotus 79. This, of course, being the Lotus 79 Formula 1 car that Mario Andretti won the World Championship in. And this season, our VRL racers are attacking the Formula 1 Grand Prix circuits of the Americas as part of this 8-race season. Tonight we'll have 30 minutes of practice, followed by a 15-minute closed qualifier, followed by our 15-minute qualifying race that will set the grid for a 30-minute feature race. Our racers will score points towards the series championship as a result of their finishing positions in the 30-minute feature race. Again, my name is Jim Karamanis with the Vintage Racer Group. We hope you're ready for tonight's coverage. I'll sign off for a few minutes so you can enjoy practice, and we'll be back soon. Welcome back. Once again, this is Jim Karamanis with the Vintage Racer Group, bringing you coverage of tonight's Virtual Racer League from Montreal, Canada. And I am joined in the booth this evening by Matthew Barber. Matthew, how are you?
I am wonderful, Jim. How are you doing tonight?
I'm great. Glad to have you here.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you being here. Last week I went solo, and my voice was quite worn out the day following, so I appreciate having someone to banter with.
We absolutely we had fun listening to you last week. I ended up watching the replay, and I appreciate you having me here. So
have you had a chance to try out the new car?
I have, which is why I'm in the booth. That car is quite unwieldy for me. I haven't had enough time to put some dedication to the sim, so I would just be a hindrance to everybody out there. That thing's quite unwieldy.
Yeah, it's quite the handful. I guess we're looking at about 700 horsepower and about 1,500 pounds, but the car has incredible downforce, so it should be capable of some pretty impressive lap times here at Montreal.
And it looks like the gang is really getting used to it pretty quickly. The racing last week was quite good, and I mean everybody got through the first lap nice and easy, no major wrecks. It was great.
Yeah, we're already seeing some cool liveries. We see. I guess that was Jim Graziano running the. That's from one of the kart series teams in the '80s. In fact, wasn't that Mario Andretti's livery in the '80s?
I believe you're right. Let me pull up my entries here so I know who I'm looking at. So, how's your summer been, Jim?
Well, it's been warm so far, but I'm not complaining.
Yeah, it's been really warm here. It's been about 97 today, so hopefully it's not quite that hot down in Canada for these guys.
Well, let's see if we can pull up the weather and see what these guys are putting up with today. And I'm still a bit rusty. This is my second race back in the booth. And what was automatic a year ago seems to be taking me 4 times as long.
I'm seeing 78 degrees Fahrenheit, partly cloudy. The track is 112 degrees. So
there you go.
They get ideal track conditions.
Absolutely ideal track conditions. And again, here in Canada, we're at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, which is 2.68 miles in length. My understanding is that this is actually a park that you can visit and walk around just across the St. Lawrence from the city. And they shut it down and turn it into this magnificent Grand Prix course every year.
Wonderful. I have never been. I don't know too much about the track, but boy, does it look beautiful.
I used to do some work in Montreal, but I never was able to coordinate it so that my work and the Formula One weekend occurred at the same time.
Pretty spectacular city, actually. I've spent some time there, and just the old historic area. It's quite beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful city, lots of history.
Indeed, and they hold on to their French heritage, so that's actually kind of fun too.
Yeah.
So who do we got here? Car number 1 is John Clerk. Wow, that's an interesting, understated livery. I love it.
Yeah, I think that's. Well, it says Pennsylvania on the back there. Okay, so I think
does indeed.
Yeah, I think that's just because that's his region that he's racing for. Yeah, he's gone with the understated livery here.
So one thing I need to get from everybody is I need to get last season's winners, 1 through 7, so I can get prizes in the mail. So please, if you guys can get that to me and everybody's addresses, that would be helpful.
Yeah, I can make that happen. That's not a problem.
And I think we focused our camera too much on John. We just put him into the wall.
Cameraman's curse. I seem to be a professional at that. Looking at Reed Shannabrook here. Looks like he's got some understated livery this season.
Interesting.
Looks like Alfa Romeo.
Let's see who you're with here. Oh, I see you're with Reed now. Great. Yeah, you actually just bounced between Stefan and then Kurt, and both of those guys went into the wall. Now you're back to Stefan, and Stefan's in the wall again.
And we're on board with Jeff Underwood. And, of course, he's flying his Carolina heritage. Lives down in the Carolinas. Looks like he's got a Tar Heel mobile going here.
Surely does. Have you had much time in the car?
Oh, and of course I immediately get Wiley and Stefan colliding. I did the practice race the other night. It was really incredibly fun. This car is very well suited for this track. I did not drive it last week at Detroit, but the feedback I got from our racers is that it's a much better fit in Montreal.
Fun.
Detroit was a very rough track, and the car didn't respond well to it, but it is just absolutely glued at Montreal. In fact, this hairpin that we just saw John Clerk go through, it's probably one of the more difficult corners usually in most cars, and it's just, this car just sticks like glue there. You can really just hammer on the throttle. We had a fun event afterwards on Thursday night in the Riley Daytona prototype, and you could just barely get on the throttle in that car without whipping it around.
Interesting. I'm actually looking forward to, I believe next week we're at Watkins Glen, and I think this car will be perfectly suited to the Glen.
Yeah, and we're going to be running the old Grand Prix course, which is, of course, the boot, but without the chicane.
Which, if memory serves, that's what I think it was Jackie Stewart's protege, Francois Servet, who last died as a result of that chicane not being there, which is the cause for changing it, correct?
That's right. That's exactly correct.
Well, that'll be fun in this car.
And Stefan's back on track. Stefan had a rough week one. Very uncharacteristic of him. Ran into a couple incidents. Finished pretty down low in the points. Knowing him, he's going to be ready to go tonight.
Where are we in the standings right now?
If you can bear with me for a moment, I will pull them up.
Because I believe I saw the first of the two races last week, and Stefan performed quite well. I think he won at least the first session.
Yeah. Well, the first session doesn't count for points this season. It's just a qualifying race for your starting position in race 2.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
So maybe for those of us who haven't been a part of the point scoring, maybe could you walk us through how the points work this season?
Yeah, so it's Grand Prix style this season where 25 points for the winner, and I believe it's 22, 18, 15, and then down from there. So it's the top 20 cars that receive points, and the points are only allocated for the feature race. So the qualifying race just determines your position for the feature race, but you've got to do well in the feature race to get points.
Wonderful. Well, it looks like you and I should at least enter cars because there's only, 15 cars out there.
Yeah, and right now, looking at the points, Steve Ficacci's out front with 25, Ian Ditson in second with 21, and Jeff Underwood in third with 18. Wiley Cox in fourth with 17, and Darren Treacle in fifth with 16. Stefan's way down in eighth.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a surprise considering Stefan's dominance over the last couple of seasons. And when I say couple, last 6 seasons in the VRL.
Right, that's right. That's right. Yeah, I believe he's won the last 5. Darren Treacle won the first 2. So, yeah, this is the first time we've had someone besides Darren or Stefan on top of the championship, I think, ever. And it is Steve Ficacci right now.
So maybe we're getting a little bit of mirroring to Formula One right now because Verstappen is besting Lewis Hamilton, and we're seeing a little bit of that in our own league. So that's kind of fun. I think that makes it exciting.
Absolutely, and we're on board with Steve now. Steve, of course, does deliveries for a lot of these drivers. He's very generous with his time. He does videos, instructional videos for the racers to learn how to drive the car at specific tracks that we're visiting every weekend. And of course, last season, he was up here in the booth doing all the video production. So,
yes, he was. And I had the good fortune of joining Steve and getting to know him a little bit better, and that was really enjoyable. So.
Well, I had a lot of fun listening to the broadcast after the fact last season. You guys had some great chemistry going.
Oh, well, thanks. We had fun. It was good to watch you guys go and bang around and just really get after it, and I had a blast. And you kind of get into the sport. It's funny when we first started, it was very much almost a video game, and now that we know the drivers, know the cars, know the tracks, and it truly is a reflection of reality, and it's been really fun.
Yeah, and it's serious. The racers are very serious about this series. The Audi 90 last season was a very difficult car to drive, and I was fortunate enough to win one race, and it was like I won the World Series. I'll never forget it.
That's pretty great.
And of course, Ficacci comes down from the booth and immediately wins the first race, and I don't think anyone's surprised by it at all. He's loaded with talent. He's always very quick in the sim.
He is definitely loaded with talent, and as I've come to find out, Steve has a pretty extensive karting background, which is kind of nice, and has put in a lot of seat time on the sim, which is fun. So, and I had the good fortune of seeing Steve drive, I believe it was John Clark's BMW at Summit Point.
Yes, he actually was Clark Orstrom's BMW.
Orstrom, thank you.
So Mr. Ficacci took the Real World VRG Vintage Race School and was one of our students, and was one of our star students, and passed with flying colors, and got his provisional license. Has rookie status, and we hope to see him later this year for his first full race weekend.
Yeah, it's been fun to follow the guys, all of the drivers on the VRL, and then mirror that fun in real life and cheer everybody on while they're out there racing and trying to win corners and win races. It's been really fun.
Yeah. Well, it was really interesting to see Steve at the school because Steve, of course, has spent so much time trying to mentor a lot of our vintage drivers who were new to sim racing. And, of course, he had a little role reversal because a lot of the guys he was helping were instructors in the Real World School. And it was quite fun. And, of course, Steve did great, which didn't surprise any of us.
He did wonderfully, and yet I still, even though he's attached to the Vintage Racing League, I still can't get him to buy a vintage race car.
And as soon as we say that, he loops it, yeah.
Yep, yes.
Well, we're just over a minute left in practice here. Back on board with Reed, who has the fastest time so far. Best time of 1:28.16. About 0.3 faster than Steve Ficacci. 0.4 faster than Ian Ditson. Jeff Underwood is in 5th at a 1:29 flat. Stefan Vappas, 6th at a 1:29.39. So one thing that's different this year, actually this was similar to last year, is that there are 2 race drops. So essentially it's your best 6 races that count towards the championship.
Yep.
Stefan can be afforded a couple weekends to learn the car and still very much be in the hunt.
Yeah, I know that Stefan is a big proponent of practice. He loves to put in the seat time, and he's very dedicated to the sport. I wonder, in light of it's actual race season, summers tend to be pretty busy. I wonder if he's had as much time to put into simulator training as he has in past seasons.
Well, yeah, that's a very good point. He's prepping 2 cars right now for himself and his father to race at the Pittsburgh Vintage Grand Prix at Shenley Park coming up in about 3 weeks. I wouldn't be surprised if he's had less time in the sim because of it. He's also taken on racing in a couple other series. So.
And then when you say series, sim series?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, we are going to be out at Pit Race. We're not going to make Shenley Park, but we're looking forward to Pit Race. Are you bringing the Pinto?
Unfortunately, I will not be at Pit Race. That is the only week that we had the opportunity to go visit our daughter in the United Kingdom. So I'll be out of the country, yeah.
Yeah, that seems like a much better vacation than 108-degree weather at the Pit Race facility.
I've done it before at Pit Race. It's absolutely worth it. It's a spectacular event.
Oh, we're looking forward to it. This will be our first outing there. I actually got my competition license. I did my Skippy Barber 3-day school there, and so pit race has a kind of a nice sentimental place in my heart. So I'm looking forward to being there again.
Yeah, that's great. It's just a wonderful track. Ever since they extended it, is just a delight to race at. And looks like qualifying has begun. Looks like Stefan is going to practice a race start here. This is a standing start series this season, Formula One style, of course. Yeah, and there you go. And Stefan beginning his out lap with a practice start. These are lone qualifiers, so the racers are by themselves on track for 15 minutes or 7 laps, whichever comes first.
Quite a long qualifying time. That's quite nice. We ran a couple test series and just for fun, and I think you were part of those, and we would have people go out and basically do just 2 qualifying laps, and I found that very interesting. It was kind of a unique way to set starting positions.
Yeah, I guess there was a season in Formula One maybe 10 or 12 years ago where they had a 1-lap single qualifier, and yeah, I remember the pressure that the drivers were under were just incredible because it was use it or lose it.
Well, interestingly enough, this format that we're doing, if I'm not mistaken, I think Formula One is incorporating something similar to this at maybe 4 tracks or 3 tracks this year, where they're using essentially a test race to set the starting position in the actual feature. Is that something you're familiar with?
Yeah, that's correct. I believe they are going to be doing that at least a couple races this year. It's more of a Formula 2 style of qualifying.
I see.
And I believe there will be some points allocated for winning those races as well. Yeah, boy, Stefan's having a rough time. He did not make the practice last Thursday night, and I think he's paying the price for it right now.
You're not kidding. Are we running a fixed setup, or is there opportunities to try and impact kind of the drivability of your car?
Well, this was supposed to be a fixed setup. I thought I had loaded a fixed setup for all the races, which I had preloaded at the beginning of the season, and I got some wild text messages as I begun the stream saying which of these setups are we supposed to run. So it looks like they have some choices tonight. So my response to that was choose wisely.
Yes. We'll see how people finish up, and we'll be able to say on the other side of that, very much the Indiana Jones, he chose poorly.
Yeah, it looks like John chose poorly. John Clark goes around. Let's see here. Reed Shannabrook was the first to get a qualifying lap in at a 1:28.16. Jeff Underwood currently in second at a 1:29.43. Mike Kelly in third at a 1:30.2.
Now, I'm not familiar with Reed, and this is, if I'm not mistaken, his first season joining the VRL.
Actually, Reed was in the series in the early days.
Got it.
He raced in some of the GT3 series early on, back in the Darren Treacle domination time. He was always very quick. He should be at the pointy end of the grid, I would suspect.
That's great. Well, it looks like some people are funneling in here for the race. It would be fun to see Mr. Wood out here, but it looks like he hasn't been a part of this season just yet.
No, we haven't seen John yet. I actually spoke to him earlier tonight. I was hoping he'd be following me into the sim here. I haven't seen him yet, but he still has a few minutes if he is coming.
Nice to see Carlos Bonds, and I don't think he made last week, did he?
You know, I want to say Carlos jumped in at the last minute last week, but I'm not positive.
Nice.
So we are streaming tonight on both YouTube and Facebook, and if you have questions, feel free to post them in the chat on either platform, and we'll do everything we can to answer those questions for you.
And when Jim says we, he means he, because I have no idea how to get to Facebook from here. I don't even have an account. So that's all you, Jim.
Reed continuing to put in the fast lap times. He's gone even faster.
Yeah, 1:27.6. He's humming right along. He's approaching his practice time, which is pretty lovely.
Yeah, and Reed was in the practice night and was very fast, of course, as was Ian Ditson and Jeff Underwood. And, of course, all those guys are way up at the pointy end of the grid.
And interestingly enough, and you know, you can say this for both VRL as well as real racing, qualifying is such an important part of the event, and it's just something that I've never been good at, and it's definitely an art form.
Yeah, it's tough to get right up to speed right away, and that's what it takes. And a lot of these guys put in a heck of a lot of practice in order to be able to do that. And when I logged into the sim tonight, I noticed that several of the drivers were in private test sessions. That's really what it takes to be fast.
Yep, seat time is everything in racing. I mean, natural talent certainly doesn't hurt, and as the Steffens and the Ians and the Steves and yourselves of the world, you've got natural talent. But the rest of us, we've definitely got to put in more seat time. Looks like Steffen has come back. He was struggling a little bit, and now he's running fourth in terms of qualifying, which is great.
Yep, we've got Wiley Cox in fifth, running that fantastic Pan American livery. Looks like he's zapped out. He may have already gotten his 7 laps in. Mike Kelly with the University of Pittsburgh livery.
And Steve Ficacci puts in a 1:27.3 to take the first position.
Mac McCormack running his VRG livery. And that looks like a Steve Ficacci special.
Steve put a livery for me together as well, which mimics my Formula Ford, and it's quite lovely.
Bob Lang running some Tyrrell livery. Classic Formula One livery coming at you. Dave Curtis running his typical crazy livery. He and Carlos Bonds often at war over who's going to have the nuttiest livery, and it looks like he's got some cereal going on or something there. I'm not quite sure. Is that fruit or I don't know.
Anytime I hear the Tyrrell livery, I think of the Tyrrell 6-wheeler, and that's the only car I can think of when I hear Tyrrell.
Jim Graziano with the Newman Haas livery. See, my brain's working. How about that? Yeah.
I want to see that car. Oh, beautiful.
I don't see any John Player Special livery, which is, of course, what would have been on this Lotus 79 when Mario Andretti won the World Championship in it.
Absolutely. I would have expected that, although that does feel a little cliched. I think everybody's trying to put their own mark on it.
Absolutely.
And how is Mr. Uzbe's livery looking tonight? Is he doing his normal red? No, he's not. He's got a Lotus.
Yeah, Kurt,
which is a surprise. Normally he goes with his all red.
Yeah, usually he mimics his real world Chevron. He's got the classic Team Lotus. Look at that. That is really cool looking.
Absolutely.
And Carlos Bonds, let's see what he's got the Hello Kitty going. Look at that.
I think that's what he normally goes for. He loves his Hello Kitty. He
loves the Hello Kitty.
Looks like we're gonna have a pretty good race up at the front of the grid.
Top 5, all very close together. Less than 2 seconds from first to fifth. And at this point, I haven't not seen a Darren Treacle sighting.
Oh, you're right. And Darren was definitely there last weekend, or last week, rather.
He absolutely was, yeah. Ian Ditson with the Parmalee livery. Do you think Ian knows that's a cigarette?
I don't actually. I really don't. I think he probably just thinks it's a really cool word.
I would not bet against you. Another classic livery there.
Oh, you're not kidding. That's a definite bygone era. You can't even advertise cigarettes anymore, so that's kind of interesting.
You know, it's funny because it doesn't seem like that long ago that Ferrari was sporting the Marlboro colors, but I guess it's been a good 15 years now.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm just trying to go through. The Pan American livery is quite lovely as well.
Yeah.
On Wiley Cox.
If you were listening last week, it was voted my personal favorite of the night.
Oh, it's so period correct, too. I just think that's wonderful. And I think I saw somewhere on the Discord of Wiley Cox pretty much in flight in that livery, which made sense for it. There was a really great screenshot taken and posted.
Yeah, so. Wiley joined in the middle of Season 7 in the Audi and has just been a terrific fit for the series.
Now, what's Bob Lang's livery? Is that the Tyrrell? Yes, it is, the Tyrrell, yeah.
Bob's running the Tyrrell, and of course he's usually in some sort of blue machine, so that works out well for him. Bob now, currently running in 9th.
I'm taking a look at Michael Kelly's livery, which is a UOP. I'm not familiar with that.
University of Pittsburgh.
Ah, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so this was a team that had a Formula One presence, a Can-Am presence. Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea.
Another very historic livery. They even had some presence on the old Trans Am series.
Oh, fun! I had no idea.
Yeah, in fact, we have some VRG members that were part of that effort. So if you come out to PVGP, we'll be happy to introduce you to some people that understand this quite well.
Oh, I would love that. Looks like we made it through our qualifying. If you want to announce the standings, that would be great.
Yeah, well, it looks like we still got a minute and a half till it's formal. But I think everyone has gotten their laps in.
Sure seems that way.
Yeah.
I think John Clerk and Carlos Bonds might still be out there, but it seems like most others are coming in, or at least are in.
Yeah, so once they get their 7 laps, if the car is still drivable, they're welcome to keep practicing until the 15 minutes are up. And it looks like some of those guys are taking advantage of that. Steve Ficacci, for one. Steve runs in so many different leagues. I wouldn't be surprised if he hasn't had much time in the car.
Yeah. But then again, with Steve, he definitely finds a way to go fast. So not having a lot of time in the car is not quite a disadvantage for him.
I think that's correct. Yeah. In fact, I'm pretty sure I've been a victim of that many times.
he knows that there's very much to knowing the game and knowing the operating system and where you can push the limits of traction and adhesion and all that good stuff. And Steve just really knows how to get the most out of these cars.
Yeah, and he really he's really good at sensing all of that on the simulator, which is very difficult to do, and most of these racers have started from the real world. It's a difficult transition to go to the virtual world because you don't have those G's working against you, and when you're used to driving by the seat of the pants, it's difficult to learn by the feedback that is given to you in the simulator.
Absolutely, and I actually have a lot of respect for the guys who can go out and do it well. Because truly, you don't have that feedback, and I think it's harder than in real life.
So we have our grid on pole. We have Steve Ficacci. Outside pole is Reed Chanabuk. Third is Ian Ditson. Fourth, Mike Kelly. Fifth is Jeff Underwood. Sixth is Wiley Cox. Seventh is our returning champion, Stefan Vappa. Eighth is Mac McCormack. Ninth is Bob Lang. 10th is Dave Curtis. 11th is Kurt Uzbay. And 12th is Jim Graziano. 13th is John Clerk. And 14th is Carlos Bonds.
That should be a pretty lively grid. That'll be great.
So again, this is going to be a standing start. They will get a solid line of red, and then it'll trip to green, and they'll be off.
Excellent.
And we are still waiting for them to hit the grid.
Looks like we're missing just a few folks. They're trying to use the mental game to wait as long as possible.
There we are. Now we have the field. Yeah, for some reason my camera is not cooperating.
I'm using blimp mode, so I can try and see as much of this as I can.
Well, I think the rust is just showing for me. So we don't have Steve Ficacci on the track. Yeah, there he is. There are the red lights. And
Just
we're
got the revs up
going
and
green,
green
and
flag.
we're off.
Oh, it looks
Oh,
like
Stefan. Stefan
What a start.
and Jeff Underwood with a terrific start.
Oh,
Reed
a little bit of mayhem.
Shannabrook slides into second. Looks like someone's off. I think that was Ditson. Ficacci's out front.
Looks like Steve got away nicely. And he's got Reed, it looks like hot on his tail, maybe.
Vappa in fifth, holding on to this pack. Shannabrook pushing Ficacci hard. They've already put quite a bit of space between themselves and Mike Kelly. Kelly moved up a space. Jeff Underwood up a space. Vappa up two. Reed trying to make the move on Ficacci. Pulls to the inside.
I think, oh, Steve definitely had the line on him.
Yeah, Steve left the door open, but he immediately slammed it shut when Shannabrook did not take it. It looks like Mike Kelly's got a good run now. He might be able to get second place.
He surely did. What a great move.
Wow, looks like we've got some draft action happening on that straight there. Look at that.
You're not kidding. And it looks like Mike is really pulling away from Reed.
Shannabrook coming back now on this straight.
I don't know if there's enough straight for him, though. They definitely did get the draft, but it looks like a little bit of a bumble by Michael.
What all this means is that Ficacci is checking out.
He's just pulling away. And Stefan's definitely making a run on Jeff Underwood.
Two very good battles for second and fourth.
Wow, actually the battle for second and third are just are really heating up. Reed is really putting the pressure on Michael.
Oh,
it looks like he's going to make a run on him.
Yeah, it looks like he's got the run. And it's a clean pass. Very nicely done.
Oh, he puts it in the grass.
Oh.
Oh. What a battle for second.
Still maintains the position. Looks like
Bring
Underwood is in there, yeah. Oh, contact!
Oh, no!
And Jeff Underwood gets caught up, and not a touch, but he loses 2 places. 3, actually. Vappa, the big winner there.
Is that Wiley Cox that slipped through? It sure is.
Yeah.
Wiley Cox slipped through to be in third now, following Michael. And, I lied. Vappa did slip through all of it. Wow. What
Vappa now in the second. Kelly in third. Wiley Cox from fourth trying to make the move on Kelly.
Take him on the outside and set himself
He's got
up
the inside line. Oh, Kelly with the momentum. Some special stuff here, Matthew. Wow.
Looks like
And
Shannonbrook
Vapa's
really
gone!
took
Vapa's
advantage.
gone! Oh, we lost Stefan. Kelly's now in second.
No.
Let's see if we can find out what happened to Stefan. Jumping back real quick. Oh.
Oh! We lost Wiley Cox. He went into the wall. Got some damage to his wing.
Oh, Stefan just lost it a little bit. And let's see if we can figure out what happened to Cox here.
We got Stefan in second as the standings are showing.
Oh, and Cox into the wall. Uzbek with an issue. Let's see what happened to Kurt. Oh, a big one. That was a big one. Fakachi checking out. Shannonbrook 6 seconds back in second. Kelly hot on his tail in third. Underwood right behind him in fourth. Ditson, coming back from his previous mistake, is up to fifth now.
Steve Fakachi is just running away with it.
This, of course, the qualifying race. There's no points here. This just determining the starting position for the feature race. We still got 10 minutes to go here. Still no sign of Darren Treacle. I believe if he were to jump in now, he would still be eligible for the feature.
And maybe starting at the back, I assume.
He would be starting at the back if he were to arrive now. No inversions this year. This season, it is purely based on finishing position in this feature race, in this qualifying race, rather. Boy, look at the size of the rear tires on this car, Matthew. They're just
amazing.
Massive.
They're massive. And it looks like Jeff Underwood is making a run on Michael Kelly. It looks like we've got a good opportunity here to see some close racing again. The field is definitely spread out.
Yeah, Kelly, Underwood, and Ditson are all pretty close together. This pack of 3 cars. These are the closest battles on track at the moment.
It certainly appears that way.
Champion's wall there. Look at that camera angle. How do you like that?
Love that.
That's the old camera inside the track. Looks like Vapa has moved back up to 6. He's still going to have it all to play for in the feature. If he can finish there, he'll be on the 3rd row. And with a 30-minute feature race, I'd say anyone in the top 3 rows has a shot.
Ian's closing now quite a bit on Underwood.
Let's go on board with Ditson. He's so busy, he's not able to clean his helmet. Oh, there you go. He pulls the screen. Tear off is gone.
He's going to get a little bit of the draft maybe here. Looks like he's going to try and make a move, but he just doesn't have enough runway.
Oh, Underwood's off track. Can Ditson capitalize? Oh, he's got the run now.
Oh, he's definitely got the run.
He's got the run now. It's game over. Oh, Underwood doing a good job. Look at that.
Breaking.
You know, I think Ditson had a little bit of a bobble coming out of that corner as well, but he's got it now. Look at that.
Did kind of he almost did sort of the over-under or under-over, I guess it is, and he got back on the gas a little bit faster than Underwood.
But Underwood's back. Look at that. These two going at it. Great racing here.
Oh, a little late braking by Ian.
Oh, and he makes it stick.
Absolutely.
Doesn't even hit Champion's War. That was fantastic.
It was masterclass right there.
And, of course, signed up to run PVGP at Pit Race in his Porsche 944, I believe.
He is in the 944. Yeah. I was actually speaking to his father yesterday a little bit, his father Bill yesterday a little bit about it. He's going to be out there with Vipers and Corvettes and all kinds of interesting cars, some big ground pounders. Yeah,
they'll be in the modern historics.
Oh, Ian's starting to pull away a little bit from Underwood.
I think Ian's starting to make some hay on Mike Kelly. Vappa still lurking in the background there.
It sure
Reed
does look
Shannabrook
like.
turning the fastest laps right now, though, at a 127.9.
Wow. But Steve, I mean, my goodness, Steve is just so far ahead at this point.
Yeah, so here's
All
best
he has to do
times
is not
on the
make a
tower.
mistake.
You can see Shannabrook with the fastest lap of the race. I'm going to guess Focacci's not pushing that hard, though.
Can't imagine he would be. Why would you at this point where you have a commanding lead, no sense in making a mistake? You've pretty much just keep running smooth and you've locked in that first, that P1.
Underwood keeping pretty close to Ditson.
I just pushed a little bit hard and got a little too into that turn, though, unfortunately, and lost a little ground.
Ditson desperately trying to close in on Kelly. Oh, it looks like we had another... Oh, Mike Kelly.
Oh.
Mike Kelly gets by Shannabrook. I'm not sure what happened there.
Looks like Shannabrook slid out a little bit.
Let's see if we can see what happened to Reed. This is a replay. Oh, almost got taken out of Champions Wall.
Actually looks like Reed is struggling with some damage to his car. It seems like he doesn't have the downforce. That right rear wing looks pretty beat up.
Yeah, he's back in fifth, and looks like Vappa's going to get him. Oh, the car's crabbing. Look at that.
It's going all over the place.
He's all over the place, and he's doing the smart thing and letting Vappa by, and I wouldn't be surprised if Shannabrook ducks into the pits here. They do have a quick repair. That car is just crabbing all over the place. If he goes straight, he's headed for the pits. Let's see what he does. There he goes, and he is going to... Oh, no, he's keeping it on track. Oh, boy. Not a good decision. He probably should have taken advantage of the pits. Yeah, now he's going to have to do a whole nother lap.
He just doesn't have any downforce, it looks like.
Well, and I'm guessing Cox is going to end up catching him as well. The rear of the car is askew. Look how much it's crabbing.
Well, Cox is dealing with a left front wing that's damaged as well, so I don't think he's probably as fast as he could be either.
He's not flying, is he?
He's definitely not.
He's running 32s. It's about 3 seconds off his best.
Looks like Ian is just about 0.5 of a second away from Michael Kelly. Could be in striking distance. He's catching him under braking. I think you've got a real chance to see something interesting in the last lap or three with Ian and Michael fighting for that P2 spot. The rest of the field is fairly well spread out. Oh, and Michael just bumps the wall and gives Ian a bit of a run on him.
Champions Wall, because so many world champions have hit it. Looks like Mike Kelly is aspiring to be one. Ditson taking advantage.
Oh, it looks like Ian got a little too aggressive there and hurt himself just a bit and gave Michael the opportunity to pull away a tad.
Of course, these cars are very old school. Manual shifters. No anti-lock brakes. No traction control. Absolutely no creature comforts. It's everything vintage racers dream about.
That's the only way to go.
Oh, and Kelly, a 45-degree angle. Ditson takes advantage, and he's gone.
Although Kelly looks like he's going to fight back, I don't think he's going to give up quite that easily.
Jeff Underwood now catching up to Kelly after the mistake.
You're not kidding. Got a three-way fight for P2 here.
I'll tell you what, though, all three of these guys are going to be hoping that Focacci has a problem at the beginning of next race, because the pace that he is holding, no one is going to have a chance keeping up with him.
No, he's absolutely run away with this heat 1. So chances are he'll do the same if he gets through the first couple of turns clean. Ian's looking pretty smooth.
Nice to see a full crowd in Canada.
It was nice to see this past weekend a full crowd at the Formula One race, too.
Yes, that was terrific.
3/4 crowd, I guess.
Of course, Canada's still shut down. No Formula One race here this year, unfortunately. Look forward to when I can go visit Montreal again. Lovely city. Incredible food. Kelly trying to make the move on Ditson. Boy, these three are going at it. Look at that.
They really are.
Kelly trying to make the move. Ian using the whole track.
Making that car super wide.
It's a wide car to begin with. It's not as wide as an Audi 90, but it's a big car.
It surely is. And it looks like this track's pretty nice for passing opportunities. And it looks like Michael's going to make a go of it.
You know, for such a short lap, there seem to be plenty of passing opportunities, and the draft is making it interesting. Oh, Kelly gets on the curb a little bit too much, loses momentum, falls into the clutches of Underwood.
Oh, wow.
And we're done.
There's the end of it.
And we're done. So
I forgot about the runoff and smash into the wall.
Yeah, well, and Kelly loves that. So our grid for the race will be Focaccia on pole, Ditson in second, Kelly in third, Underwood in fourth, Stefan Vapp in fifth, Wiley Cox in sixth, Dave Curtis in seventh, John Clerk in eighth, Reed Shannonbrook in ninth, and Carlos Bonds in 10th. Good job by Shannonbrook to recover to ninth, actually. Graziano in 11th, Bob Lang in 12th. Mac McCormack falls back to 13th, Kurt Uzbey in 14th. Well, that was an exciting qualifying race. Now we've got 30 minutes of feature race coming up with Focaccia on pole. Can anyone bring the heat to Steve?
It would be nice if some of these guys got up to speed and made it just a little bit more of a race. Nobody likes to see somebody run away with it. And actually last week's heat, the heat 1, was very, very close. Let's see if we got guys on the grid yet.
Indeed. We've got guys on the grid.
Just a few. Looks like we got Mac and Kurt. The pace cars on the grid. Now they're filling in. Looks like we've got our pole sitter, Steve Focaccia, on the grid. First row is lined up. Second row is lined up. And it looks like we're just about a full grid right now.
And we are off. Green, green,
Green
green. Vapp and Underwood again make great starts.
Brilliant start.
Oh, boy, Vappa
Wow.
makes it all the way to second. What an... Oh, no, but he's off there. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, that was terrible. Oh, no. Oh, that was a mess.
Collected almost the whole field. Focaccia runs away with it.
Oh, Vappa's not going to be happy with it. Oh, and Focaccia almost loses it. So I'm wondering, is Focaccia's car damaged? He took quite the whack. Yeah.
He sure did. And boy, the way he lost the back end there, right, just heading straight, he could have some damage. Let's see if I can get a little bit of a view of his car here.
Let's jump on board and see what it looks like from inside. Well, maybe he was just on cold tires. He seems to be okay.
I'm looking at the chase view of the car, and it looks like the right side and is kind of, The pods has a little bit of damage, but it doesn't look like he's got any damage to any of the wings. So seems like he should be all right. We've got Stefan rapid repair right now.
Kurt Uzbey battling it out with Dave
Oh!
Curtis. Oh, no!
He was chasing down, trying to get past Uzbey. Almost runs into the back of him.
Well, we're going to let things settle down a little bit, and then we're going to go back to the beginning of this race, because
Absolutely.
we've got to see that replay.
Oh, Uzbey's off.
Oh, Uzbey's off!
The pressure of Ditson behind him maybe just a little too much.
Oh,
Pushing pretty
no!
hard.
He backs it into the wall, unfortunately. Oh, that can't be great for his wing.
No.
He was harmless until then.
Looks like Ian's chasing Dave Curtis and Bob Langdown, maybe.
Looks like Shannonbrook's made it up to third now. He's up 6 places from the beginning of this race. And his car looks very clean. Underwood's chasing him, but Underwood's clearly has a damaged front wing. You know?
Oh. Ian got by, looks like Dave Curtis, nicely. And he's going to be chasing down Bob Lang here in just a minute.
Well, look at this. Curtis trying to make the move back.
Let's see here.
Ditson closing in on Lang. They make it through the final corner. Can Ditson get it done before turn 1? Oh, Ditson's off!
Oh, no. Yeah, I'm looking at the front view of Focacci's car, and he's definitely got some fuselage damage, it looks like, which could be impacting his,
I see that.
pace.
Looks like the right side skirt
Yep,
is
that's
quite
right.
damaged.
And
he
Michael Kelly is catching.
Michael Kelly has the fast lap of the race right now. Let's see if we can get the fast laps to display for you. There we go.
Reed got a little sideways.
There you go. Kelly with a fast lap of the race. Focacci not far behind, though. I mean, that's for a damaged car, that's an awfully fast time. That's not too far from his qualifying time. It's going to be a long race, so he's still got 25 minutes to go. That's a long time to nurse a damaged car.
You're not kidding. And if you look at Jeff Underwood's car, his left front wing is severely damaged. So I'm wondering how he's going to fare.
Yeah, look at that.
You can just see him pushing a little through the turns, too.
Completely askew. Looks like he drove under a car because, yeah, there's pretty much skid marks going through his helmet. You see that?
You're not kidding. My goodness. So Stefan's making a run on John Clerk, and it looks like he's going to have him.
Yeah, Stefan's a lap down, though.
Oh, I see. Oh, you're not kidding. Yeah, he's got some work to do.
Yeah, it looks like his first 2 races are going to be his drops.
Yeah.
If he's going to make a run at this championship.
Although there's a lot of racing left, and boy, the way that things have gone on this particular start, things could happen and change up pretty quickly. So. Looks like Wiley might have a little bit of damage on his car, too.
Looks like Ditson just got past McCormack. Ditson's got a lot of damage on his car as well. And that could explain some of the unusual tactics we've seen from him. When the car doesn't do what you expect it to do, it can cause some chaos.
Yeah, Ian's got looks like right front wing damage pretty badly. Although he did get by
Graziano
quite handily. Looks like Mac McCormick's got a little front wing damage too. And heck, so does Carlos Bonds. Everybody came through scathed.
Shannabrook is working on Kelly. Shannabrook, now with the fastest lap of the race, has closed the gap on Mike Kelly. The battle for second is on.
Surely is.
Kelly is off.
May have forced a mistake right there.
Yes, he did, and Shannabrook is through. And you know, he's only 3.5 seconds behind Ficacci, and he is going a whole lot faster.
This car looks pristine. It doesn't look like he's got a scratch on it. I wonder if he can make a run on Steve at this point.
Shannabrook is up 7 places and is running a half second a lap faster.
Wow.
Than Ficacci, and he's got 23 minutes left. He's got Ficacci in his sights. I think the race is on.
That's plenty of time.
Indeed, that Alfa Romeo Lotus is pristine, not a scratch on it. Unlike poor Mr. Underwood with the tire marks on his helmet.
Let's see who we got here.
Reed's coming.
Yeah, the last lap for Steve was a 129.1. The last lap for Reed was a 128.3. I mean, he's a true almost second a lap faster than Ficacci.
Curtis working on Cox. This is the battle for 6. Looked like Curtis had him. Cox has opened up a gap.
Oh, here we go, yeah.
McCormick and Graziano having a little bit of a fight here as well. Battle for 9th.
I see that. But not too many other close battles at this moment.
You know, it's surprising. Last season with the Audi 90, everyone thought this car is so powerful, so difficult to drive. We're all going to be far apart. And all season long, everyone was banging doors the entire season. I mean, the racing was so incredibly close.
It sure was. And there is something to be said for the banging doors and watching guys race like that, whereas these cars tend to be a little bit more fragile, and you end up in the pits with a fast repair.
Yeah. I mean, the Audi, as long as you didn't hit the front, was indestructible. But if you hit the front where those turbos were at...
Oh, my.
Poof.
Reed just put in a 127.6. He is moving. And
Mac McCormack with the pass. Gets by Jim Graziano. And boy, look at the gap is only 1.5 seconds now at the front. Shannabrook is coming. And I think with Ficacci's damage, there's not a whole lot he can do, Matthew.
I don't think so. I mean, Reed's closing a second a lap. So it's something that Steve's going to have to start watching his mirrors pretty soon here and driving very defensively.
Well, and that's going to be the trick. How difficult can Ficacci make it?
Something tells me that Steve's going to make that car as wide as possible, but with that kind of a speed variance, I wonder if he can hold off Reed.
Yeah, we're talking a second a lap.
And almost each successive lap, Reed gets faster. Yeah, he's 1.5 seconds back, boy.
This gives you an idea of the kind of speed that they're turning. Wow, mesmerizing.
Steve is putting up a very gallant fight, though. I'll give him that. But he just turned a 129, which is one of his slowest times he's put in. And Reed looks like he's within striking distance.
Well, what could be happening is with the damage that he has, it could be making the car slide. And we did notice that the tires on this car go away towards the end of the session. And if he's having issues, the tires could be going away now.
Well, that car will start to skate quite a bit, won't it?
Well, I mean, it could get to the point where it's almost worth thinking about getting a fast repair.
Yep. Yeah, as long as you can come into the pits and you don't have to worry about a tow, that fast repair really could put him at a good advantage. I wonder if Steve's thinking that strategy of maybe if I could put a little bit more time between us, it'd be worth doing.
Well, I'm looking at where everyone is on track now. I think if you duck off into the pit, you're going to end up around 8th.
Yep, yeah. Well, Reed is 0.8 of a second back, so that's the closest he's been. So, and we've got a lot of race left.
Look at him skim Champions Wall. He's really pushing.
Oh, wow. He's really pushing now. Oh, a little bit of a bobble. He had a little bit of an understeer there. And Picacci was able just to squirt away just a bit. Looks like the rest of the field, you've got Ian Ditson closing on John Clerk, which could be a pretty good fight.
Yeah, looks like Ian got past him. Yeah.
Yep. Wow.
I still want to go back and see this replay, but this is too good to stop.
Oh, I definitely want to see the start.
Yeah.
But the race up at front, at least we got a good fight here.
We've got to fight for the lead. This is real. If Reed gets by and checks out, then
oh. Wow, that's pretty close now.
Boy. Fakachi's doing his job, though. He's not making it easy.
No, he's not. No, he's making that car as wide as he can. He's running a little bit defensive. He knows where Reed's going to be. You can see it right there. He just put that car right in Reed's way.
Yep. I don't know. I think it's going to be awfully difficult to keep him back too much longer.
He's going to have the draft at this point.
Yeah, look at that. I think he's got the job done. It's over.
I think he does. Oh!
Fakachi very wisely backs out of it. It's a long season, and a second place in the standings goes a long way towards the championship. It's just not worth throwing it away.
No.
Oh, look at that.
Ooh, a little bit of an oversteer, it looks like.
Probably a little bit of frustration there, but he finished first week 1. If he gets second week 2, he's in good shape.
Now, where did Reed Shannonbrook finish last week?
So last week, Shannonbrook was not in the race.
Oh, okay. So, to your point, Steve, Fakachi could definitely afford to just let Shannonbrook run away with it, not push the issue, come in a commanding second, and really still be in the points lead.
Absolutely. And Shannonbrook's still in the mix. Again, only 6 of the 8 races count, so...
Looks like we've got Graziano and Mac McCormick somewhat close to each other. They're about 3 seconds apart. That could be an interesting competition. Looks like John Clark just got past Bob Lang as lap traffic.
Yeah, I believe McCormack got by Graziano a couple laps ago.
Okay.
I do like that livery, though.
Yeah, so do I.
I might have to get my favorite for the evening. I spent many a weekend rooting for Mario Andretti. Very fortunate enough to spend a day with Mr. Andretti at my day job.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah.
Wow, that's your National Archives, correct?
Library of Congress.
Library of Congress, got it.
I guess it's about 10 years ago now that we inducted him in as a living legend, and they needed someone who knew something about this racing stuff to escort the Andretti family around. So you can imagine how much arm twisting it took.
That's definitely a day to remember, I can only imagine.
Absolutely, and he had been an idol of mine since I was a small child, and he was just lovely, and his entire family is just a sweet Italian family, and they were just wonderful, wonderful people to spend the day with. I'll never forget it.
Oh, that's a great experience. Well, the Andretti family is from Scranton area or Pocono, Pennsylvania, right?
They live in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, actually.
There you have it. Yeah. Well, the Andrettis and I never had the good fortune of meeting Mario, but we worked with one of his children when they had Andretti Power Sports. They actually built a motorcycle ATV dealership in the greater Berks County area. So we had the opportunity to work with those guys. It was pretty fun.
Wonderful. Well, tell us a little bit about your company, which is our series sponsor.
Well, my company is called Office Service Company. We have 4 divisions to our organization. Everybody in the world's probably doing the same thing, but we have a PPE division, which, as you can imagine, is pretty curtailed these days with the pandemic being where it is. And we've got an office supply division. The print promotional side of our company, we do all things branded, logoed, which is how we were fortunate enough to help with the league. And then we're a commercial interiors firm. And we're headquartered in Reading, Pennsylvania. We have offices in Philadelphia, Allentown, and Reading.
Wonderful. We thank you for your sponsorship and, of course, your participation as a racer, too. We hope to see you in the car again soon.
You absolutely will. I got to just get some more seat time, so I'm not the guy that's causing that turn 1 wreck on the start.
Yeah, Stefan likes to call it punching someone in the throat when they make a mistake like that. So I wonder if he's going to be on the guillotine tonight, self-imposed.
I don't know if Stefan's ever throat punched himself, so we'll find out.
Well, I think if there's one thing Stefan doesn't want to do is take out another competitor. He's not that kind of guy, and I'm sure he's kicking himself right now knowing him.
Absolutely. Yeah, Stefan is a very competitive driver. He's a very talented driver, but he's very much a gentleman driver.
So up at the front here, Ficacci seems to have gotten by Shannabrook while we were chatting.
Oh boy, I didn't see that.
Let's see if we can grab the replay here. So Reed just touches Champion's wall, and Ficacci gets the run. And what kind of damage did Shannabrook get from hitting Champion's wall?
I'm going to pull him up right now and see if I can see his car under a microscope here.
We've got 10 minutes left in the race.
Shannabrook's not giving up on Ficacci, though.
You know, that kind of hit, it can just be a scrape of the tires, but it can cause some serious suspension damage as well. But the car seems to be going well.
He's got a little bit of that front wing that looks a little bit tweaked if you do the rear chase view. But he looks like the car is performing quite nicely.
Yeah, things don't look completely correctly lined up there, do they?
They do not, and it looks like the car is moving a little bit laterally as he's going down the straightaway. So I wonder if he's got a little bit of issue here.
Well, and looking at the last lap time, Ficacci was faster the last lap. Boy, the tail has turned here, hasn't it? Reed's having a harder time in the slow corners. If you notice, the car's sliding a lot.
Sure is. So I wonder if we've leveled the playing field.
Sure looks like it.
Although Reed's last lap time was a 1:27.6, so I think he's doing quite nicely.
The car's dancing a lot. Boy! That was very close to taking Ficacci out. Boy, it sure looks to me like he's struggling to keep the car on track.
Me too. Yeah, sure does. And what do we got for about 7 minutes of race time left?
Just a little over 8. Ficacci might be in the driver's seat now.
I think he might be. I think that probably, like we said, leveled the playing field a little bit, because it does look like Reed is struggling a tad. Although we've got some lap traffic here that we're coming upon. Let's see what happens with, I think that's Carlos.
Yeah, knowing Carlos, he's not going to be in the way.
No.
And in fact, he completely moves out of the way and lets Ficacci by.
Well, it looks like Reed really tried to use him as to pull him into that turn, huh?
It looked like Bonds let off the throttle there to let Shannonbrook by as well. And that's the kind of guy Carlos is, so I'm not surprised.
Yep. Seems like the use of the radios, all the drivers are pretty respectful of one another. When they see somebody coming on, they kind of give them that virtual point by.
Well, in the first 2 seasons, when we were racing GT3 with Treacle, it was the flashing of the headlights, and we've sort of missed that. We haven't had a car with headlights since season 2.
Yep.
Oh, boy!
Oh, he catches it, though.
Reed's going for it, but maybe pushing a little too hard with a damaged car. But, he's probably figuring he's got nothing to lose.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's a solid 13 seconds ahead of Michael Kelly, so even a small mistake, he'll still come in second if he...
Yeah, but
so he's got an opportunity to push a bit.
He's running 1.2 seconds a lap slower than he was running before the meeting with Champions Wall.
Oh, interesting.
So it has definitely leveled the playing field.
Yep, you're not kidding.
Ficacci turned a faster lap on the previous lap.
Wow. He put his fastest lap on lap 14, which says something about Steve, that he's got the ability to, under pressure, with a damaged car, put in some serious lap times when asked to do so.
Well, and the cars are getting lighter as they burn off fuel, so theoretically the tires wear out as the fuel comes off, and the lap time should be similar. But Steve's making it work, and Reed's continuing the struggle as he goes off there, and the lead's now close to 2 seconds.
Reed is really working that steering wheel. Unfortunate about Stefan, he went back in for a quick repair, but he's just not able to come back and catch anybody. He's still struggling in second to last, it looks like.
Ficacci increasing the gap. It's just over a second now. A little over 5 minutes left in the Grand Prix. It's amazing how things turned around in just a few laps.
You're not kidding. And for the most part, everybody is pretty much just running by themselves except for the 2 leaders. There are a lot of cars out there with a lot of damage.
Well, and I tell you, the big winner really is going to be Ficacci, whether he finishes first or second, because Kelly finished 13th in week 1. Underwood finished 3rd, and he's down in 4th right now. So Ficacci really poised to take a very controlling lead of the championship very early on in the season.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ditson was second last week, but he's down in 5th. Oh, no!
No! Reed just got a little overzealous with the go fast pedal and just had the back end step out just a little bit. And you were saying earlier, it looks like he's really struggling with grip now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost 3 seconds to lead now. Ficacci continuing to work on lap traffic. 4 minutes left in the Grand Prix. Graziano moves out of the way for Ficacci.
Yeah, I think absent something significant out of Focacci, I think he's got this wrapped up.
Ironically, Shannonbrook's last lap was faster than Focacci's, but that mistake, of course, is going to make for a big difference, I think, in this lap time. Boy, look at the damage. It's pretty significant on the side pod of Focacci's car. That one got him pretty good.
He surely did. That looks like Graziano just got nicely out of the way. But it seems like Reed's just a little too far back to be in striking distance. The gap's over almost 3 seconds.
Yeah, and he's got a big lead over Kelly, and a commanding lead over Underwood, and Ditson's pretty far back. So if we go back to Clerk and Curtis, we've got a little race going on here, though, for 6th place.
Absolutely.
Curtis with a whole lot of damage. It looks like Clerk took advantage of the fast repair because this car is absolutely pristine.
Yeah, Curtis is definitely not.
Let's see how Cox's car is doing. Looks like no, Cox still has no. Oh, Reed's in the pits.
Oh my gosh! What? I missed it. What happened?
Well, let's take a look at the replay here. Oh. The car blew up! It blew up on him!
Oh my gosh.
It looks like the engine popped! Oh my goodness. Oh boy, so makes me wonder if that whack into the wall just took the car out. Curtis is off.
Yep.
And Wiley Cox is going to slide in under him. That puts Wiley Cox in 6th place.
Oh my gosh.
Shannonbrook's blow up puts John Clerk into the top 5.
Wow.
Mike Kelly now promoted to 2nd place. Oh, John Clerk just went off. Let's see what happened.
Oh no.
What happened to John? Oh no, we just lost it. Oh gosh.
That is a shame.
Well, we're going back on board with Focacci. He should be getting the white flag pretty soon here. Shannonbrook was in the lead, seemed to be in control. He's out.
Boy. Wow. What a turn of events. That's terrible. And it looks like Focacci's pretty much got this wrapped up. He should be coming close to the checkered, I would think, right?
It's over.
In fact, there it is. There's the.
It's over.
There it is. There you have it. Wow.
Kelly takes 2nd.
What an unfortunate turn of events, boy.
Underwood on the podium again. 2nd, 3rd place finish in a row. Underwood in good place for the championship.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
Ditson in 4th. Boy, Cox is way back in the hairpin. Look at that. It just shows you the lead Focacci had.
You're not kidding.
I mean, this is 5th place. And a fast driver at that.
And if you click between Cox's car and Dave Curtis's car, the damage is identical on that left front fin.
Look at that. And they're right behind each other. And I still have no idea what Dave has there for livery, but we'll go with fruit. How about that?
That works.
John Clark manages to get back up to 7th after his spin. He'll be kicking himself. had a top 5 wrapped up, and that's it.
Boy. What an interesting race.
So your unofficial results: Steve Ficacci with your win, Mike Kelly in second place, Jeff Underwood in third, Ian Ditson in fourth, Wiley Cox rounds out your top 5, Dave Curtis in sixth, John Clerk in seventh, Mac McCormack in eighth, Jim Graziano in ninth, Carlos Bonds in 10th, Stefan Vapp in 11th, Kurt Uzbey in 12th, Bob Lang in 13th, and Reed Shannonbrook in 14th. Let's see if we can get our replay going.
That's it. I'm actually coming back to see the start.
Yeah, so we're at the start now.
Oh no! Oh, I can't wait to hear the replay or see the replay again.
Oh boy! Oh boy!
That was pretty egregious for Mr. Vappa.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see if we can zoom in on Mr. Vappa here and see exactly what happened. He just went off, and he just couldn't get it stopped. And
nope.
boy, oh boy, oh boy!
Yeah, he gave him the wallop. He sure did.
Let's take one more look at that. Let's jump into Mac McCormack's ride
and the
here.
Carnage after that, my goodness. This is like the Tour de France.
Oh boy, look at this! Their car's just flying everywhere, and McCormack gets through that pretty clean.
He surely did. Oh my goodness.
Let's see if we
that was pretty wild.
Let's see if we can go on board with Vappa. Maybe do a far chase here. And I think he just outbroke himself. Couldn't get the car stopped because he was in the grass. I mean, certainly wasn't intentional. But look at this mayhem that ensues.
Oh my gosh.
Oh so boy.
Wow. I think if you go on board with Jeff Underwood, you get a really good bird's eye view of the whole thing.
All right. Well, we're gonna do that. I want to do this. What is this? Rear chase? Where's one where we can?
I have the far chase view is actually quite good. If you're getting in one of the back markers cars, it's pretty good.
Oh, you know what? I want to do the roll bar because I want to see the tires hit his helmet. So let's see.
There you have it.
There goes Vappa. Oh boy! Oh boy! Wow. That was really something. Well, let's see. Our racers are climbing out of their cars, and well, let's see if we can grab some of them and bring them into the interview booth here. Matthew, what do you say?
I think that sounds like a great plan.
All right, we're doing it. Hold on.
Hi.
Gentlemen, welcome to the booth.
Howdy.
Steve, boy, what a night. That was an exciting race.
Yeah, it sure was. Had some back and forth, a little contact, a little bit of everything, I feel like.
Tell us what happened on that start.
I don't know. Honestly, I got a good start, and then I looked in my mirror, saw the guys were 3 wide, and I'm like, sweet, I don't have any problems. And then I saw the car coming through the grass. It got me. I think it was Stefan. He hit me. It didn't spin me out. But I felt like the car was a little bit loose in the right-handers and a little bit of understeer in the left-handers. So I didn't get out of it unscathed, but, could be a lot worse. That's for sure.
Well, I'll tell you what. I want to do something here. I'm sharing the stream with the drivers here. If you guys want to click on it, I would love to show you the start of this race.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
All right. So if you guys are there, everyone on board?
Jim, if you hop in my car for the start.
Well, let me give you. I'll give you a high view, and then we'll zoom in here. But I want to hear your reactions here.
Three wide. Oh, Stefan coming in hot.
Yeah, he did what I did the first race.
Oh,
jeez.
Yeah, let's see if we can see that again from the Vapamobile to give you a better idea.
My gearbox.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Looks like he just outbroke himself.
Oh.
Oh, and it gets ugly here.
Yeah, I got absolutely pasted.
Yeah, I think that can be a tough corner on cool tires. You just got to take it easy that first lap.
Yeah.
It was pretty brutal, that pile up there.
Yeah.
Well, Steve, it was an impressive win. You had a great battle with Reed. At one point, he got by you, and he made a mistake, and he touched Champion's wall, and you never let up and immediately pounced and never looked back.
Yeah, so he got by me, and then I made a few mistakes. And I was like, he's getting away. Like, I wasn't sure if he was faster than me or just, draft or whatever, but I tried to step it up, and I made a few mistakes. And at one point, I was having a hard time getting the car to go into first gear in turn 3, I guess it is, but the first right-hander. And I was coming out of it just really slow, so I started using the clutch instead of just, being off the gas, and that helped a lot. But when he went into the wall, I was going to stop, not to, wait for him or anything, just because I didn't know where he was going to go. But his car kept going, and he seemed to be okay. I'm sure he had some damage, but I was really expecting his car to kind of spin out of control there, and, I was almost mad at myself for not hitting, going by him more aggressively just to make sure I got the position.
Yeah, he was definitely struggling after the whack. He lost about a second and a half in lap time after that. And your lap times were consistent, even though you seemed to be fighting a damaged car as well. So it was a very impressive drive. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, well, Ian, you're fourth on the night. Describe what happened in the race from your perspective. It looked like you had several events.
Oh yeah, it was chaos, Jim. Turn 1, Stefan outbroke himself. Watched it, tried to slow down to, handle it, and I still got collected just because of where everything unfolded. And then, a little bit later, caught up to Bob Lang. He kind of parked the car in the center of the track and broke really freaking early. So I decided spinning the car and not hitting probably the better move to keep us both in a race. But that dropped me back down to 13th or 14th. And from there, I had to charge back up through the field again. And ended up in, 4th? Right?
Yeah, you made it in the 4th with a pretty significant amount of damage on the car. It was quite the ride. It was fun watching you move up through the field.
Yeah, I was down 10 miles straight. It was painful at times, but the car was slightly more stable.
Sure.
But some really good racing, some really frustrating moments. I think this is where I have the spin behind the wheel. So.
Yeah. Well, I know when we've spoken before, you had said you're very interested in making a championship run. You've got a 2nd and a 4th. You're actually in pretty good shape for the season, 2 races in. How do you think your shot is for the long haul here?
I think I need to come back from college for 2 races. Well, I just looked at the schedule. And I'll be moved into by the 10th, but I'll just come home because it's only a half drive and stay the week or stay a couple nights because it's not like I got anything better to do on campus. And then I'll have to come back for one more, I guess. But I'm not complaining about coming back.
Yeah, so you can see for the fans out there, this is so serious for our racers that Ian's going to come back from school just to do these races.
Hey, school doesn't start till the 20-something, and we got a whole week in there, week or 2 where I'm not doing anything. So
there you go. Well,
I'm sure your father loves hearing that there's nothing really good going on campus, which most parents are horrified of what their children are doing on campus, and your dad gets to hear you say, it's better if I come home. I don't have anything going on campus anyway. So
he's not watching the stream right now. He's dealing with the pool pump.
If you got nothing going on, you're not getting your money's worth.
Well, congratulations. So, Jeff Underwood, 2nd podium in a row, 2 third places. You had an exciting race. Tell us about your night.
Well, the start was pretty exciting. Got got a nice jump and kind of was cautious pulling around Ian there. Didn't want us to get tangled up there, so I kind of conceded on that a little bit, and then obviously the thing with Stefan, I saw him coming. I'm like, he's not making this, and was basically looking ahead for the crash and thought I had it beat, but then I think somebody kind of came across me or whatever, and I just kind of got caught up in it. And looking at how it seems on camera, I think I got lucky, but I still end up with a damaged car that was not optimal for the race. I think my pace was averaging about 3/4 to a second down from what I was planning on running for pace.
Yeah, Jeff, there's a high likelihood you hit me, 'cause I think almost every single car when I got one.
Yeah. Well, we were commenting during the broadcast, Jeff, that it looked like you had some tire marks on your helmet. So, considering that, you came out of this pretty good with a third place.
I'm not going to complain one bit. It was unlucky and lucky at the same time.
That's right. Well, congratulations on another strong finish. You're definitely in it for the championship run, and we're looking forward to seeing you move further up the grid next week.
Thanks, guys. I enjoyed it.
Wiley,
Whoa.
fifth place.
Yeah, can I make a request? Can you find lap 15 of the feature race about a minute and 10 seconds in? I'm living up to my livery once again. I think we should display that. If you can find that on the replay, you'll see exactly why I'm wearing the Pan Am livery.
Oh, were you flying?
Fun?
I was, yeah.
Oh.
I decided to try to actually take off over Dave Curtis.
Nice.
Yeah, so, yeah.
So you went over him.
Well, I went partially over him. I didn't actually clear him, but somehow I survived doing that. Is that 15? Yeah, if you can find lap 15 on there. Anyway, yeah. So 5th place, I'm actually happy with that. I qualified 6th. I had some delusions of being able to qualify a little bit higher after yesterday's practice event, and then Stefan and Ian and all the fast guys came in and started throwing down 127s and 128s. So I was happy with my 129. And somehow I managed to crash, or not crash, but kind of drive myself off in places I had never done that before. So it was a little frustrating, but I just kind of calmed down and concentrated on catching Dave and catching John, who was ahead of me also. So I think it's going to be this lap coming up. It's the back straight, where you'll see me once again living up to the Pan Am livery. I told my friends there was not going to be any flying pictures of me, and I did not manage that tonight.
Yeah, we had some flying pictures of you from last week. They were great.
Detroit, exactly. Well, you're going to have another good one here. If this is, I don't know if this is lap 15 or not, but if this is when I'm catching Dave on the back straight, you'll see me get a launch too. This might be, I think it might be the lap after this one, but yeah, I'm not going to catch it for this one. It's going to be one lap, the next lap after this one.
Yeah,
So,
we'll definitely zoom in on you getting through the air when we get around the next lap.
Okay.
Congratulations. You've had
thank
2 strong starts. I think last week you were in 4th place if I'm remembering correctly.
I was, yeah. I managed to stay a little bit more consistent than here, and I got a couple extra spots. Again, just trying to stay smooth is really what I'm working on. These cars are a handful. I switched to the low downforce setting after realizing it was significantly faster, and it made it a little more challenging. But yeah, this was it was fun. It was a good time. Let's see if this is.
This might be it. You're pretty close to him here. I know the two of you had a great battle throughout the race.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be the one after this. I can't see the lap counters on your screen.
Yeah, I can't see it either. We're almost there. Let's see if we can get this.
It's gonna be worth it. I don't know how. I honestly don't know how I survived this. I either should have been in the atmosphere or off the side of the track. Somehow I managed to stay totally straight.
It's Pan Am. You put down a proper landing.
Exactly.
I think these cars are a lot more durable than we give them credit for, because I hit walls all the time and it turns out fine.
They're not the Audi though. Here we go.
All right, yeah, here we go.
Oh!
Oh, wow.
I was expecting him to stay over by the wall, and he decided he did not want to be over next to the wall, and I hadn't completed my right side move yet.
Yeah.
I think he touched the wall, actually.
Well, here's the funny part. There might have been some net code going on there because. Oh, okay.
I hit the wheel. I definitely hit his back wheel
okay.
with my front, and I was just about to move over to the right to go around him, and he moved over right first. So
Oh wow.
yeah,
Well,
that's pretty good.
there you go. We'll have to make that the visual for next race. So
Sounds like a
We'll
plan.
get
I'm gonna
you
have to
launched.
fly every event.
You should do the best flights of your car.
yeah.
Well,
We can,
so far I'm two for two. So
if we can get one every race weekend, we'll be sure to get a collage of them at the end of the season. Well,
Perfect.
congratulations on another strong finish. You guys were super entertaining tonight. We can't wait to see next week.
Hang
Congratulations,
on.
everybody.
So Matt bailed on me in the booth. I must have offended him because as soon as I'm gone, he comes back.
Oh, for God's sake, that's not true. I wanted to, but boy, things have been kind of crazy. As you guys probably can imagine, with real racing, work has been crazy. So I wanted to work my way into one. I didn't make last week. I wanted to, but I definitely wanted to try and help out.
Yeah, you wanted to make it last week when I was gone, traitor.
Well, I appreciate you being here because
thank you.
As Steve knows, your voice turns to mush the next day after doing one of these broadcasts, and the color commentary was a whole lot of fun tonight, and I hope some people enjoyed the broadcast. So look forward
Thanks,
to next
everybody.
week. Congratulations, everyone, on a great race, and we'll see you guys soon.
We'll catch you
Thanks,
soon.
guys.
Thanks, guys.
care.
Take care.
All right.
I gotta go, but good race, everyone.
And this is Jim Karamanis with the Vintage Racer Group wrapping up tonight's coverage of the VRL at Montreal. We hope you enjoyed the coverage. We'll see you next week at Watkins Glen. Good night.